Day 10 of training camp. Not only do we have a joint practice, but we got our first look at the Miami Dolphins depth chart. So we got lots to talk about. What is up, Finn fans? Today, big video, joint practice, depth chart, update from Mike McDaniel. Lot to talk about. Not going to beat around the bush. We're going to get right into it. First and foremost, we are going to look at the depth chart. So this is the Miami Dolphins depth chart right now. We're going to start with the offense. So you can see here we got Tyreek Hill. We're going to start at the top of the wide receivers. You got Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, Braxton Berrios, Sanders, Swan, and Davis, Deadwood Davis. Then obviously your starting offensive line as of right now is Armstead, Eichenberg, Connor Williams, Hunt, and Jackson. I think we all kind of saw that happening. I'm not feeling so happy, not that I don't feel happy, but I don't think Eichenberg should feel real happy or secure in his position, from especially what I'm hearing today. You got the backups in Lamb, Wynn, Feeney, Robert Jones, and Buhi. Feeney being the backup center is interesting. You would think that Eichenberg might be there, so they might switch those two out. And then behind them, you have Christians, Smith, Olave, Cotton, Hayes, and then you have Tunstall, the fourth right tackle. And you have your tight ends, Smythe, Croft, Saubert, Connor, Higgins, and Hill. Croft being second is not a surprise to me. Saubert kind of been struggling a little bit. You got your fullback and Alec Ingold. Your running backs, again, I said this to you guys so many times when people are like, why do you want to add Cook? It's going to take away from A-Chain, and it's, he's going to take. And I kept telling you guys, they ran the 21 formation 34% of the time. And why do I keep saying that? It's because look at the depth chart. They have two running backs as starters. Wait for it. Starters. And you have Mostert, Jeff Wilson as your starters, Gaskin, Ahmed behind it, Brooks and A-Chain behind them. I honestly would be shocked if A-Chain wasn't up a little bit more. Quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa, Mike White, Skylar Thompson. Not surprised there. And then your other wide receivers, Waddle, Craycraft, Chosen, Ezukoma, and Coleman. Now, Chosen being down here is interesting to me. I would think that Chosen would be where Cedric Wilson Jr. is. But again, that's just for now. Now let's move this on up. And we're looking at defense. You got your starting defensive line, Wilkins, Roquan Davis, and Sealer. No surprise there. Behind them, Bronson, Peely, and Agba. That's a little bit of a surprise, Agba being back there, but we'll see. Charlton and Twanman and Hand being the third stringers. And you got your starting linebacking core, Phillips, Baker, Long Jr., Chubb. Absolutely no surprise there. Reed, Tyndall, Riley, Van Ginkel. Again, no surprise. Agood, Rose, Miller, and Good. Why am I saying good? I don't know. And then you have Nelson back there. Your starting corners. When he's ready, Ramsey and Howard. He'll be ready. Then you got, so it seems like Cater might be here in the second. Then you got Needham, Cater, Noah, Bethel, Cam Smith, Crossan, Ellis, Apple. They have so many corners. Bonner, Gilbert, and Nickerson. And I think the reason they have so many corners is I don't expect to see Howard, Ramsey, Needham, Kohu when it comes to Friday. So that's why they have so many. Then your starting safeties, Holland, Brandon Jones, no surprise there. Campbell, Elliott, McKinley. I'm surprised McKinley's behind Campbell. Trill Williams, K. Smith, B. Thompson, and Dorn. And then we got special teams. Maybe I can go high enough that you could see me. Hello, everybody. You like my special teams hat? Then you got special teams. Your kicker is Sanders. Your punter is Bailey. Same thing with Holder. Long snapper is Ferguson. And Braxton Berrios is your kick punt returner. I'm not surprised at all about that. Mostert, Wilson, A-Chain, Craycraft, Ahmed, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle on the very bottom. These are emergency returners. Honestly, no surprise. The little bit of shock probably is Chosen's a little lower than I thought. A-Chain's a little lower than I thought. McKinley's lower than I thought. And Cam Smith is lower than I thought. Oh, and Agba. He's a second stringer. But there's a whole rotation there. So, in all honesty, it's preseason week 1 depth chart. When the week 1 of the regular season depth chart comes out, then we can freak out. So this is what Mike McDaniel had to say in his presser. He talks about Jalen Ramsey. I'm losing it. On Jalen Ramsey. Slow it down, Doug. Jalen Ramsey already watching practice off the crutches and walking. He says there's been a slew of crutch thieves in Miami Garden. But to add, I love where Jalen's at. He's attacking everything. He said, friggin' Mike McDaniel's just ridiculous. Mike McDaniel says Christian Wilkins is a very coachable and brings his teammates along the journey of enthusiasm. We found out, if you haven't, go watch me and Omar Kelly's interview, that Christian Wilkins got a little bit of a potty mouth. He's a really big crap talker. Brandon Jones, practice workload per Mike McDaniel more than last week, not as much as the next week. He said Jones falls in the category of Jalen Ramsey and expediting. God. Recovery. He was probably ready for a bit more than he did last week, but they're trying to avoid a setback. So they bring these guys along slowly, which I'm fine with that. We need everyone healthy. Mike McDaniel says Teron Armstead will be held out today, but probably will go tomorrow. I have a minor in meteorology at this point when he talks about how hot it is in Miami. And it was hot. I got some news on that. Mike McDaniel says he has not decided whether 2 of the rest of the starters will play Friday. Don't play him. There's no point in playing them. It's preseason week 1. It's not a punishment if starters play week 1 preseason, Mike McDaniel says. I feel like we were surprised how much Mike Gesicki played in preseason last year. I think we all know why Mike Gesicki played a lot in preseason last year. It's because he wasn't ready, especially with this offense. Mike McDaniel would prefer players not to fight during practice versus the Falcons. Nothing that would get a guy kicked out, team first. They didn't fight today. I'll give you a little spoiler on that. Mike McDaniel pretends to be a reporter, typing that a starter was 3 for 5. Coaches look at practice different than we do. They're gathering information. And I'm noticing something, all right? Let me delve into something. I'm going to go off on a little tangent for a minute or two. You have a bunch of different reporters, YouTubers, Twitter people, all these things reporting about training camp. We all want to get information to the people that follow us, and we all want to get you as much accurate information as we possibly can. No one person is more right than the other. No one person knows more than the other. No one person is spreading the truth while the others are spreading false lies. I've already been blamed, and I've already been told that I'm spreading lies by what I'm talking about, what's happening at in training camp. And that person who said that doesn't watch all my videos, because I have said everything from Tua had bad days, the offensive line, this, and that, and things that are a problem. But I've noticed that something's going around when it comes to training camp, that there's now agendas, like I talked about last time, that some people are telling the truth and some people are lying. We don't know, as people in the stands, as people reading reports, as people like me, we don't know the intentions of plays. We don't know what Mike McDaniel is saying to these guys. We don't know what is going on the field and between the players and the coaches. All we're doing is assuming. So not one person, whether it's me, whether it's Reason, whether it's TD, whether it's Omar Kelly, Chris Perkins, whether it's Alan Poupart, whether it's any of us, definitely know what's going on. So can we stop saying, oh, he's telling the truth and you're lying, or you're telling the truth, you're the goat, and so can we just take the information and let it play out? Because I'm noticing that, because I'm getting it. I'm getting told that I'm spreading lies. How am I spreading lies? I'm reading what is happening on the field and letting you guys come to your conclusion. Anyway, I'm done with my spiel. Mike McDaniel's hoping that things that were bad in last scrimmage are good today, because I was there too. Yeah. Last scrimmage wasn't good. And that obviously is well known, because Tua Tagovailoa and the offense had to have a little bit of a discussion. And that bothered people too, because I guess it involves Tua. and nobody likes the quarterback of their team. I'm not nobody, but. So let's get to some on the field stuff. There's a lot, so I'm trying to get to the beginning of it so I can tell you. So while I'm doing that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about how my day's going. It's going good. All right, I'm there. Kick rocks. I'm done. So rocking the orange jersey today is Jerome Baker. So again, you get the orange jersey because you had a good practice, but also you're a good leader on the field and some other tangibles, so there's that. Dolphins safety Trill Williams has ditched the red non-contact jersey. Last step in returning from last year's ACL. Brandon Jones still in the red jersey, which is huge, absolutely huge. Trill Williams, hey, you pair him opposite of Javon Holland, that might be a very dangerous backfield. And you have Brandon Jones blitzing and playing in the box. It's going to be crazy. New Dolphin corner, Perry Nickerson, is rocking number 49. Then you have Eric Ezukoma and Devon Achane are back in uniform and practicing today, as well as Duke Riley. So they're slowly being brought along. New defensive lineman Deshaun Hand is wearing 93. So Ezukoma, Achane, Elliott, and Riley are all back to practice. So the only guys that are out are Jalen Ramsey, Crossan, Tanner Connor, and Nick Needham. I'm going to show you guys this clip. This is of Miami Dolphins offensive line coach. Look at him getting into it. Let me look at him getting into it. Let me fix this so you guys can get a full view. It's right here. He's like, let's go, come on, let's go. I like the enthusiasm. We need it, especially on the offensive line. So, best part of the Dolphins and Falcons practice right now, the Falcons are hogging all the AC in Miami's indoor facility next to their field outside. Everyone's back out on the field now. It was hot, and it was, I guess, too hot for the Atlanta Falcons, so they had to go back inside for a little bit. I'm telling you, training in this heat makes you different, makes you real different. Then we got some one-on-ones. Tyreek with a nice comeback versus Mike Hughes. Falcons corner Darren Hall, pass breakup versus Ezukoma. And Tua incomplete to Dawood Davis. Then another one-on-one. Tua drops a dime off a deep ball to Braylon Sanders, beating Falcons A.J. Terrell. I have a ton of videos today for you guys. Tyreek Hill creates massive separation against Falcons cornerback Trey Flowers on a double move and one-on-one. I will show you that. There are four versions of one-on-ones on both fields, and this is why I follow everyone, and apparently this is why Omar watches me, which again, super grateful for that. Omar, what's up? Because everyone, there was literally our defense versus their offense and our offense versus their defense, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So you have beat writers over here, you have beat writers over here, and that's why I try to give you everything from all around, because not everyone can see everything. And again, that's why not one person's right and the other person's wrong when it comes to their perspective of what happened at training camp. There are four versions of one-on-ones on both sides. Both teams have wide receivers versus corners and running backs versus tight ends. Running backs, tight ends versus safeties and linebackers. Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill with 2 catches so far in one-on-ones. Falcons running back Bijan Robinson hit a wicked double move against the safety and and Dolphins wide receiver Braylon Sanders beat Falcons corner A.J. Terrell for a touchdown from Tua Tagovailoa. Ezukoma goes outside against outside leverage. Mike White throws it up, and the natural plucking ability of 18 on display as he skies over the defender and snatches it. I'm very excited. We got 18 back today. Thought he was off to a great start before the injury. Who wrote that? Comment below who wrote that tweet. I'll give you a second, and yes, it was Travis Wingfield. First look at Bijan Robinson. Damn, he's good. Little double move gets Channing Tindall for a touchdown. Cornerback Xavier Howard draws a flag versus Drake London. Chosen is having a good period, gets 2 steps on A.J. Terrell, but the ball from Thompson is short and picked off. Hate to hear that, but again, that's not the first interception from today. Tight end Kyle Pitts catches out route versus Ron McKinley. Pitts will be a matchup to watch throughout these 2 days. I didn't hear much from Kyle Pitts, if I'm being honest with you. Falcons defensive backs were quite good during one-on-one drills against the Dolphins receivers. Multiple pass breakups and an interception. Tyreek Hill was predictably unguardable, though. He is a great weapon we have This is from Omar. He says, I've now seen 3 holes on kick return for the Falcons. Dolphins might be mixing and matching on special teams, but this isn't good. Omar, for the first time, gives us some special teams, which we greatly appreciate. And I got some kicker stuff for you, too. O-line versus D-line 1-on-1. Bradley Chubb defeats Jake Matthews. Robert Hunt stalemates Bull Rush. The power puts the rusher on the ground. Williams and Eichenberg go to the next rep, and it's more of the same. Lorenzo Carter got against Austin Jackson, and for the first rep, 3-1 Fins so far. 7 on a 7 now. Tua finds Mostert up the sideline for a long touchdown. I have video of that. Dolphins cornerback Noah Igbenogany and Falcons defensive back Trey Flowers with pass breakups to start 7 on 7. Tua threw behind Waddle, but hit Mostert on the touchdown, which I just mentioned. Dolphins get into some 7 on 7 work. Noah Igbenogany with a nice dive on a short pass to deflect Ritter's pass. In O-line versus D-line 1-on-1, Robert Hunt had a great rep stonewalling Grady Jarrett on a bull rush. Robert Hunt bouncing back. Dolphins interior not giving an inch in the pass rush drill. Feeney and Lester Cotton with wins. Abuhi gave up the inside on a rep against players who I did not identify. It's good to hear when it comes to the one-on-one in the beginning that our offensive line is actually being somewhat formidable. One-on-one, Lamb false start. Bud Dupree keeps working and D Lamb. Jalen Phillips worked and defeated Caleb McGarry. The reason I got silent is because Caleb McGarry was a right tackle that I wanted the Dolphins to sign. But he went back to the Atlanta Falcons, and he's making $5.5 million this year, and he's making $12 next year. That's nothing. And he was in the 4th best right tackle, both 4th best tackle in the NFL last year. But hey, Jalen Phillips defeated him, so I feel better. Connor Williams pancakes didn't get defended. Chris Perkins didn't see who the defender was. Isaiah Wynn defeats on a swim move by Albert Higgins. Another practice, another Cam Smith pass breakup. Tua Tagovailoa complete to Jalen Waddle in 7 on 7. Dolphins wide receiver Cedric Wilson almost had a one-handed catch. And Kyle Pitts also had a catch just now in 7 on 7. Dolphins 7 on 7 offense getting whatever it wants. Tua to Waddle for 25 now, and a short pass to Tyreek. So again, our weapons when it comes to the wide receivers and stuff is not the problem. The quarterback to wide receiver combination is not the problem. I think we've come to that conclusion, and you'll hear more that it's not the problem when it comes to what's the struggle with the offense. Agba defeats Mayfield. Barry Wesley handles Finn's linebacker Garrett Nelson. In pass drill, Mike White to Gaskin, short right. Falcons draw a defensive pass interference flag. Austin Jackson to get beat on the outside, and a move from Falcons Joe Gaziano. Christian Wilkins isn't dominating. This is from Omar. Again, me and Omar had that conversation yesterday where Christian Wilkins was absolutely dominating the Dolphins to the point where he started talking crap. This is what he had to say about today, though. Christian Wilkins isn't dominating the Falcons' O-line, and Connor Williams and Liam Eichenberg are struggling. I think we've discovered the issue. Again, that's why having training camp is all fine and dandy, but you have to have these joint practices to really see, okay, is it Christian Wilkins being a menace, or is it our offensive line being garbage? And I think we know the answer. Right tackle Austin Jackson defeats defensive line Joe Gaziano. Matthew Bergeron eventually defeats Raekwon Davis, but it was a good battle. And Jalen Phillips runs right past Caleb McGarry. Makes me feel better about not signing him. Dolphins right guard Robert Hunt just pushed Falcons O-lineman down in one-on-ones. Falcons defensive end Grady Jarrett beats the Dolphins corner Connor Williams on a rep. Linemen are people too, but that's all I watched. Suffy Dean was that one. I think both offenses won their respective 7 on 7 periods to be expected. Good mix of wins in the O-line, D-line. Thought Hunt, Feeney, Cotton, and Williams had great periods. Miami pass rush on Atlanta O-line was 100 yards away, so I punted on watching. That's from Travis Wingfield. And again, why I follow so many people. This is from the Atlanta Falcons beat writer. He says, as expected, Falcons defensive backs had trouble with the speed of the Dolphins receivers Hill, Waddle, and Braxton Berrios during one-on-ones. Phillips and Terrell dropped interceptions, and Barry Borders was penalized for defensive pass interference. Omar Kelly said, not pleased with either of Miami's special team periods. They clearly took an L there today. I'm not happy about that. Per the Falcons beat writer, the Falcons defensive line got the best of the Dolphins offensive line during one-on-ones. Around 30 reps happened between the units, and the Falcons recorded 7 sacks. Waddle, and then we started 11-on-11s. Waddle right end around, maybe 4 yards. Christian Wilkins with a stop for a 2-yard gain on the first 11-on-11 snap for defense. So, again, now I'm going to start reading 11-on-11s to you. And you want the Dolphins to do good on both sides because they are both going at the same time, just on opposite ends of the field. Christian Wilkins with a stop. I already read that one. Tua had time in the pocket, hit chosen crossing intermediate over the middle, getting open against A.J. Terrell. It was about 20 yards on that one. It was a nice block from Lamb on Lorenzo Carter. Wilson run middle, maybe 3 yards. Ritter had pressure in his face because of Bradley Chubb rush. He threw it away. Nice combo coverage. I'm losing it. With Noah Benogany and Elliott squeezing a window that Ritter couldn't fit, tight underneath and up top. Travis Wingfield, super descriptive. Waddle drop. Eichenberg, nice block on defensive lineman Taquan Graham. Mostert short gain left middle. Holland with a tackle on Jonnu Smith at the line of scrimmage. Mostert toss right. False start by the Finns. Got to do better. Offensive line. Brandon Peely gets through for a sack on the far right. Sorbert loses the edge, and then Ahmed run goes for a loss. Peely with the sack on Tyler Heineke. I forgot Tyler Heineke went to the Atlanta Falcons. 2 versus 2, Mike White at quarterback. Ahmed runs right, maybe about 5 or 6 yards. Deshaun Handwood gets a sack on Logan Woodside. Welcome to the Dolphins. Defensive lineman Joe Gaziano gets a sack from the offense. Left side, left tackle Keon Smith was chasing Gaziano, but unsure it was his responsibility. Braylon Sanders got injured. Unfortunately, he was holding his left knee and was carted off. So it's horrible to hear. Again, we are dealing with a ton of injuries already, so that sucks. Brandon Peely with a tackle for loss. Ahmed run left. Tyreek Hill had to block defensive line Zach Harrison, who's 6'5", 274. Unsure that would work in the game from Chris Perkins. Elijah Higgins' growth as a blocker has been a nice development to watch. You couldn't convince me he's 2 weeks into the position change if this were the first day at camp with no prior knowledge, which is awesome to hear. Again, they're trying to take Elijah Higgins, our 6th-round pick, and make him a tight end. So far, he's doing good when it comes to the blocking part of it. It looked like A-Chain had a big lane with a full head of steam behind a nice surge from Isaiah Wynn, but he's tripped up around the shoestring, still picked up about 5. 11-on-11s versus 1-on-1s. Left guard Lester Cotton, nice job, versus defensive lineman David Onyemata. I think that's his name. Nice left side run by Bojangles Robinson. Deshaun Elliott with the stop 10 yards down the field. Bojangles Robinson, I absolutely flippin' love that name. I think it's an awesome name. Phillips tossed the right tackle aside and right to a tackle for loss. Most impressive part, the back actually bubbled wide and got a step, but Phillips chased him down from behind. Phillips is just a speed demon. Braylon Sanders, like I said, was carted off. Tua got Craycraft, who put a nice little move on A.J. Terrell at the sideline to get free. Play goes for about 25. Then unfortunately, Tua sacked after pressure from both sides. I think I have that video. Wilson right makes a cutback for maybe about 3 to 4 yards. Just watched Austin Jackson get beat by Toure. Finn's offensive line pass protection doing a nice job in this version of 11-on-11s. Omar Kelly, Chris Perkins. I'm not kidding you. It was literally one after the other. It was Chris Perkins, Omar Kelly talking about Austin Jackson getting beat, and then Chris Perkins right after saying offensive line protection, pass protection is doing pretty well. Elijah Campbell with a great pass breakup. He should be the starting safety in my opinion. That was from Omar Kelly, which we need to find that safety opposite of Javon Holland, because again, from what I'm hearing from Omar Kelly, it's a little bit different. Savon Ahmed had a pass from Tua and got up the sideline for 10-plus yards. Far field, Heineke loads up for a deep ball, and Elijah Campbell ranges over for a pass breakup. He had a chance at the pick. Maybe that's who he's going to be opposite of Javon Holland. Mike White to Tyreek for maybe 20 on completion plus yak. Falcons quarterback Desmond Ridder and Tyler Heineke facing pressure from the Dolphins defense all practice long. That's from Safi Dean, and that's what I like to hear. Mike White finds Tyreek Hill open, stretching down the middle and with space to outrun the Falcons defense for a touchdown. Kader Kohou breaks free on a blitz for maybe a sack. Mike White sacked as a pocket collapses in the middle. Skyler finally gets into teamwork. Short completion to Gaskin. Finn's first offense, nice job in the 11-on-11s. Unable to tell much about Finn's first defense because they're on the far side of the field. But like I said, Chris was watching the offense, and I got guys watching the defense because these are all my guys. They all know me. Chris Perkins knows me. David knows me. Safid. We're all friends. We hang out after. Nice left side run by Bijan Robinson, Deshaun Elliott with the stop 10 yards down the field. So I got Chris Perkins telling me about the Dolphins offense, and I got Omar Kelly on the opposite end telling me about the defense. Now I got some kicking for you. So Jason Sanders, I'm going to hold my finger up for the ones he made. All right, ready? Jason Sanders, 32-yard out, good. 36-yard out, left hash, good. 40-yard left hash, good. 46 right hash, good. 51-yarder, miss. 55-yarder, miss. So out of 6, he made 4. Went 4 and 2. It's those 2 though, 55 and 51. You got to make those long ones, man. Because you never know. It might come down to, hey, we have like 30 seconds left on the clock with a timeout. We got down there, and we need you to kick a 53-yarder. We got to depend on your leg, man. Jalen Ramsey walking around here without crutches at joint practice. He just had some small talk with Falcons defense tight end Kyle Pitts as both teams work their units. I have video. This man is like just walking around like it's nothing. He might be back before December. I'm telling you, just one day at a time. One day at a time. Roquan works down the line to stack up a slow developing run, a play after Phillips' stout edge forces the back to bubble. Tua incomplete out of bounds to Tyreek Hill. Unsure if pass rush / pressure affected play, but Tyreek was open. Tua incomplete for Waddle on the right sideline. Ball sails out of bounds in tight coverage. Back-to-back bad plays by Tua there. Falcons throw quick, and we get a snapshot of what Kader Kohou did well last year. Took out the blocker and got after the runner, which is awesome to see. 3rd and 10 on Finn's 45. Chosen false start. Jalen Phillips sacks Ridder with a forced fumble. Swipe of the hand. Jalen Phillips making me happy. Jalen Phillips shuts down another outside run, this time coming off the stack and firing up. Another Finn's false start. Got to work on that discipline. That's on Mike McDaniel, too. Chubb with an actual tackle on Bijan Robinson for a 2-yard gain. Miami's run defense looks stingy. Falcons were a good run team last year. So they're staying status quo on the defense from last year, which is good to hear. Tua with a shot to Chosen for about 15. Isaiah Wynn had a really good anchor and pass pro. First deep completion I've seen the Dolphins defense allow. Ridder finds wide receiver Josh Ali for 50 yards. Brandon Jones and Cam Smith were the closest defenders, which is good. That's the only one, and that's the only one I heard all day. So the Dolphin defense did their thing. Mike White rolls right, incomplete to Chosen, pass short and low. 2nd and 10 from own 25. Wilson run up the middle for 1 yard. Clark Phillips is right in Braxton Berrios' hip pocket, but White drills it for a completion for about 15. A perfect ball and an impressive catch from Braxton Berrios. 3rd and 9 from our own 46. White to Chosen for 1st down. 18. Excellent block on linebacker Nate Landman. Excellent pass protection displayed by 18. And 18 is a tiny man. So the fact that he could do that, I'm very happy about that. A-Chain right yard for 1. 2nd and 9 at the Falcons 34. White at quarterback. Falcons corner Clark Phillips got hurt during 11-on-11 period, which sucks to hear. He was carted off. They said that someone might have stepped on him. Hopefully he's okay. White incomplete. Izukoma intended receiver. Inside linebacker. Michael Walker tips the pass. White to Barrios right. Excellent blitz pickup by pass protection. And now we got 11-on-11 in the red zone. Ball placed at the 15. Jalen Phillips sacks Ritter. Then Torrey Anderson picks off Tua. Has a nice return going back the other way. Jumped in the pass lane on a timing throw over the middle. Come on, Tua. I think that's Tua's, what, 4th interception of camp? Got to do better than that, though. Especially on a pick 6 in the red zone. You're money in the red zone. Tua, that's Tua's bread and butter. He's in the red zone. Come on, Tua. Tua incomplete. Wilson intended receiver throws out of back of end zone. Nice cutback run for Patterson. Jerome Baker didn't fill. 3rd and 7 at Atlanta 12. Tyreek in motion. Tua to Tyreek for 7 yards and a first down. 3rd and 8 from the 15 in the red zone. Tyreek has an 8-yard completion. Oh, I just read that one. 1st and goal on the 8. Mostert up the middle. Hunt and Ingle, nice blocks. Maybe a gain of 4 to 5. 2nd and goal at the 8. Tua to Mostert. Swing pass right. Maybe a touchdown. A nice play there. And then on the defensive side, Veron McKinley with a pick 6 in the red zone work. Love to hear that. 3rd and goal at the 5. Incomplete intended Izukoma throw high out of the back of the end zone. I think I liked that one twice, and then I repeated myself. I apologize. 1st and 10 at the 15. White at quarterback. White to Tyreek for 8 yards on the left sideline. Like Omar said yesterday, they are just interchanging wide receivers. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Peely with another run stop. He makes his presence felt today. Guess he took it personally. I listed him as a guy underperforming. Hey, Omar, keep doing your thing, man, because if these guys get a fire under their butt because you're, reporting on them, keep doing it. Remember the play in Philly in 2015 where Jarvis Landry, if you guys remember, we were in the red zone, and I think Ryan Tannehill got the pass smacked up in the air. Then Jarvis Landry caught it for a touchdown. Well, the same exact thing happened with Mike White and Julian Hill. Devon A-Chain with maybe the play of the day. He had a 6-yard touchdown run where he wasn't touched until the 1, drops the shoulder and issues out punishment on the would-be tackler. Crowd gave the oohs and the ahs. Borders with the red zone interception on Skylar Thompson. Mike, again, the quarterback struggled today. Matthew Sexton just caught a touchdown pass left corner of the end zone during the red zone drills. Tua to Waddle twice to start off 2-minute drill. Kader Kohu with a pass breakup on defense. Kyle Pitts then beats Bradley Chubb on a crossing pattern. Don't have Bradley Chubb dropping into coverage, please. So 11-on-11's 2-minute offense. Tua to Waddle on 2nd down. Appears Tua throws it to the ground over the middle on 3rd to stop the clock with no one immediately open. Now 2nd and 10 at Atlanta 43 with 1:01 left. Tua sacked by Falcons, drawing a flag in the secondary. Now 2nd and 10 at Atlanta 38 with 57 seconds left. And then Tua to Wilson left 5 yards. 1st and 10 at Atlanta 23 with 49 seconds left. Tua incomplete to Wilson. Now 2nd and 10 at Atlanta 23 with 44 seconds left. And then short completion to Durham Smythe. And then Sanders kicks a 40-yard field goal. And he is good. And then on the defensive side, in the 2-minute drill, Kader Kohu, really nice pass breakup working underneath the route. Pitts a catch and run for big gain. Pressure might have been in Ritter's face. They gave him the catch, though. Ritter to Hodges for 10. Sealer with a sack. Back-to-back 5-yard completions to Bijan Robinson. A 50-yard field goal is good. And then that's it. Overall, it seems like, good defensive day against their offense, and our offense kind of struggled here and there. But let's get into some video footage. Gotta shout out some people: Tommy and Hialeah, Tyler. I don't want to butcher your last name. Decina. Who else do I got? Tommy, Nando Talk, my man Cash. If I didn't shout you out, I do apologize. I will get you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. But let's look at some videos. This is Tyreek Hill in one-on-ones. Let's look at this. Oh, he's nasty. Oh, that's always the worst when you get this. They take that extra step. Like, da, 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 da. They take like the extra few steps. It's always the worst. Then we have this one here, which seems to be I think an inside route from Tyreek Hill. Again, Tyreek Hill was taking people's lunch money today. Oh, got him again. See, what it is people are afraid. They're afraid of getting cooked. So I bet you that corner thought, because it was number 33, so it was either a corner or no, they said corners versus wide receivers and safeties and linebackers versus running backs, tight ends. That corner probably thought he was going to either go to the outside or he was going to stutter step and go up. Busted it to the inside. Just completely messed with them there. So now we have, this is Chosen. I think this is the touchdown pass here. Up at the top of the screen. Oh. That dicey throw. But again, you see these things and you're like, why would you throw that? Where else is he going to throw it? That's what one-on-ones is about. He just made the catch. Just made the catch. This is a deep pass. Oh, I was excited to show you guys this one. This is a deep pass here. It's just perfect. You can't throw that ball better. From the 52, boom, to the 10. A nice 40-yard dart. Like, just beautiful. Nice little touch under it. Two to Braxton Barrios. Nice little inside. See, those are the moves, and those are the routes that Braxton's probably going to be running a lot of. That turn and in. But see how you see over here the Dolphin defense against their offense? There's the flag for defensive pass interference. That's why you have some guys that are on this side of the field watching the Dolphins offense versus their defense, and then you have guys on the opposite side of the field watching our defense versus their offense. That is why I follow everyone and try to get you all of the information. Oh, I was excited to show you guys this one too. Another great pass. This is to Raheem Mostert right here from Tua. So this isn't 11 on 11s. This is 7 on 7s. So essentially there's just no offensive or defensive line. Like, you can't throw that any better. What a dot. Like, two defenders, put that right in his breadbasket. Tua does really well on 7 on 7s and 1-on-1s, but he was struggling on 11 on 11s today. This is Tua again. Oh, bunch formation here. Well, out route. That is Waddle. Nice little out route to Jalen Waddle there. So this is from Cameron Wolf. He says, nearly impossible to stop Tyreek Hill. Oh, this is that in route, but this is a different angle of it. I want to show you this one. Yeah. I would never want to cover Tyreek Hill. Oh, and this is the picture of Jalen Ramsey. Just walking around like it's nothing. Here's Greer. I think that's his trainer. Someone's got a sweaty butt. Just walking around like it's nothing with his compression sleeve on. Don't be surprised Which one is this one? Jalen Waddle here. This is 11 on 11s now. I think this is Waddle right here. They'll end around. Not bad, not bad. But it looks like about a 9-yard gain there. Working on some things. Like Omar said, we're not facing them this year, so just do it. This is Tua finding Chosen. Right here. In motion. Comes back. Zone coverage. Play action. Wide open across the middle. Nice play. Nice play. Again, a lot of times that motion is to see if they're in zone or man or not. What else do I got for you? This is a Jeff Wilson run here. This is from my man Josh Houts. Jeff Wilson. Motion here. Braxton. Nice little churn there. It sounded like they were playing the Star Wars theme. You couldn't hear it because I have it muted. Tua to Craycraft for a big gain from Bobby House. Nice. Gave him enough time in the pocket, enough protection to get open. Very nice there. And that's what I got for you guys today. Good day for the defense. Too many interceptions on the offense. Too many false starts on the offense. Sloppy on the offense. Hopefully they bounce back tomorrow, come out and really rip it. But good day by the defense. Ton of pressure, ton of sacks. Had our own little interceptions, pick sixes. Quarterbacks, you got to do better tomorrow. But that's what I got for you today. Tomorrow, day 11. Day 2 of joint practice. Then on Thursday, you're going to get the preview. Obviously, it's not going to be a full in-depth preview. The game doesn't mean anything, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be looking for. And then I'll see you guys Friday, probably around like 6:45 for the preseason game. And then I'm taking Saturday off. I'm going to try to anyway. But like usual, stay classy. Evans up.